a lot of people here in this Brookfield office, across the street from the World Trade Center Memorial. Is that a reflection of what you're telling me, that people have to find a way, companies have to find a way to get back to work, to put people back in their offices and take those 2 steps forward, even if it comes at the price of 1 step back?
I don't think we've met a legitimate corporation or legitimate CEO that doesn't want their people back in the office. There's 2 reasons they don't have them all back. Number 1, they don't have enough space to be able to accommodate them in the premises that they occupy and operate out of today. If they have a vaccine, they don't have to build out more space. If they don't have a vaccine, they're going to have to build out more space, which means you need more space to accommodate the people back, but everyone wants their people back.
That's one narrative, right? That's the narrative that says humans are social creatures who need to interact with one another in the same space to be productive, to be creative. The other narrative, which I know you're also familiar with, says there's no need to co-locate people. They can be just as effective working on a virtual platform. It's Bruce Flatt versus Mark Zuckerberg. Who's right?
All of those companies that you're suggesting...
Sure, could be Twitter, could be Slack, could be Facebook.
They've all been taking more space in urban locations to social distance their people. They're expecting their people back. And early on, they were probably hoping that some more would stay home so they could sell more services to them. More cloud computing, more online apps and all those kind of things. But today, even they're the largest new consumers of space in the markets, and they're taking space today. So I don't believe any of that is the case. And in fact, I'm entirely convinced that you go out on the street and ask 9 out of 10 people, they will say they want to work from the office. And the fact the efficiencies are not even close when people aren't in the office, because you get distracted with 100 other things.
What about retail?
Yeah, so look, here's what I'd say. Again, quality wins. And what's happening in retail today, remember, firstly, 80% of retail sales still happen on the street. Every single retailer, every's a strong word, but I'll say every single retailer that starts online, when they get to a certain scale, they want to build out stores. It's the cheapest way to attract customers. Maybe not in the last 6 months, but eventually this will all sort itself out, and they'll still want to attract customers, and they do it by stores. And 80% say today, I don't know what the number will eventually be, but there is going to be a very significant amount still sold in stores. And what's happening is, as retail platforms consolidate, they keep the best and they get rid of the tertiary. So the same thing I just said in office is happening in retail. If you have a poorly located retail center with some tertiary tenants, you're probably going to lose them all, and it will get plowed down and become something else. If you have a great center, remember, those tenants need places to go to attract people. And if you have a great center, they're concentrating into it. So the great centers out of all of this, just like everything, there will be consolidation, and the best will get better, and the worst will go away. And Fifth Avenue in New York and Bond Street in London, these will still be amazing places to attract customers, and there'll be a demand for that space.
That's high street shopping. What about the malls?
It's the same thing, because these malls are just high street shopping in smaller centers or in suburban locations. If you own the best, if you own the tertiary, if you're in a city and there's 8 centers, the 4 best ones are going to be even better in the future, because you're going to get rid of 4, and those 4, and we have 80-90% of our value of our retail business is invested in 45 centers, and those centers are super powerful places where people want to be and retailers want to be, because they have to. That's where the people are.